Hi, in this episode I'm going to show you how you can make a simple animated map to use in your sailing videos.
A world is a book. Those who do not travel read only one page. Travel has helped us to understand the meaning of life, and it has helped us to become better people. Each time we travel, we see the world with new eyes. People think that because we keep travelling and searching for new things to do, we are not focused, but travel helped us find our purpose and put focus into our lives. The more we get lost in our travels, the richer our lives become.
Okay, so we're going to put together a simple animated map which you can use in your sailing videos. My operating system is a MacBook Pro, and I'm using Motion 5 to do the editing and the animation. If you're on a PC, I'm sure you can use the Adobe equivalent. I can't remember what it is at the moment. I'll find out and I'll put it above. But stay tuned, get the idea. I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is open Google Pro, and we're going to select where we're going to pick the area from. So for this example, I'm just going to zoom in into the Aegean Sea, and we'll click a place where we've been sailing this year. Just a very quick basic route just to give you an idea. So we're going to go from this island here, which is Astapalia, and we're going to go, we'll just go to here, which is the bottom tip of Eos. So let's zoom in a little bit more, like so. Okay, and then what we need to do is go to this button here, which is Save Image. So we click on the image. Now, if you're setting this up for the first time, go into Map Options, Disable Legends, so we'll lose that bit on the screen there. You can leave the compass on, or you can take it off if you look in the bottom right of the corner, and same with the scale. But for now, we'll leave those on. Once we've done that, we can go into this part here which says resolution. Now for speed, I'm just going to use 1080, but you can do it in 4K if you're using a 4K timeline. But we're just going to use a 1080 timeline for now, just to keep it fast. So we do that, click Save Image, and we'll call this Astapalia. And I've already created a folder on my desktop called Motion PNG, and we're just going to save this map into there. Image has been prepared. There we go, it's saved. So we can now close Google Earth down, and if I come into that folder, which is here, as we can see, it's created a 1080p image without any of the writing on. Obviously we've still got the copyright label down here, but we can get around that if you want to. And that's the first part of how to get your map. Now I've got a couple of other little PNG images here. We've got a sailboat, a motorcycle, a scooter, which we use when we're doing land-based animated maps, and I've got an anchor if I want to put that down instead of a dot, but we'll come on to that later. So have a search on Google, find whichever little icon you want. Some you have to pay for. The ones I've got here are free, but you have to credit the author. So we do that in the credits. So create that folder, and then we're all set to go for the next part. Okay, so the next part of creating this animated map is to import the footage into Motion, and we start the animation. So here we go. So we'll open Motion. On my computer I'm using Motion 5. This is version 5.1.2, and we come up to the file. So when we open Motion, we get this screen come up here. If we come across here, we can see presets, broadcast 1080. If you click on there, you've got an option of recording it in 4K, 720, 1080, PAL, broadcast, SD, NTCSE, blah 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 blah. I'm going to record it into 1080 because the file I'm going to output anyway is going to be a 1080 file. So it's a little bit quicker than doing it in 4K as well. So we'll click on 1080. Frame rate, I know my timeline is going to be 24 frames a second in Final Cut Pro, what I'm going to edit the video in. So I'm going to click on 24 frames a second, and the duration of this project is going to be 10 seconds. So that's for this clip, what we're going to create. So got all that set, and we click open. So we get this screen come up in motion, and the first thing I'm going to do is just go down to here and put my screen to 50%, and that will become apparent in a second. So the first thing we need to do is get some footage into here. So we're going to click on File, Import, and mine already goes to the Motion PNG file folder that I set up on the desktop, and in here we've got the screenshot of Astapalia, the JPEG, which we saved from Google Earth. So I'm just going to click on there and click Import, and straight away you can see it comes up onto the screen. Now what we've got here is the actual screen, which is at 1080. Now as you can see, we've got the Google Earth logo and the compass and the scale just down here. Now for this purpose I'm going to take this off. I think Google Earth actually have got something in there what say that you need to leave it on, but put it in the credits that you're using Google Earth and you should be okay. But this is just for demonstration purposes if you want to take it off. So we hold down the shift button and we're just going to drag to enlarge the map, and then just reposition it. I don't want the north on it. Let's make it a little bit, change it just that little bit. So this is Astapalia, the island what we're going to sail from, and this is Eos, where we're going to. So just click out of there, and that's that part done. So the next thing we need to do is put a start and finish point on. So if you come down here to the rectangle tool, just click it and press C, and then you get a circle tool. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to click down on the mouse and just drag it so we get a small circle. Let's just go back up to 100 to the fit so you can see it a little bit easier. So we've got a circle there, but I don't like white circles. So we highlight it here, we come to Inspector, come across here, click on Fill Colour on the square box, and you get the pencil crane set. I'm going to click the red one, and we're done. If you want to tweak your colours a little bit more, you can either grab it or you can go into this screen, but the pencil for me is a lot quicker, and it keeps it consistent if you keep clicking the same pencil. So that's it for now on that part. Next thing we need to do, click the arrow, it highlights the circle here, control click, come down to duplicate, and now it's created a second circle, and you can see here in the timeline it's called it circle copy. Now we need to move that to where we're going to go, so we're going to drag it and put it to the anchorage at the bottom of EOS where we went. Click out the box, and there we go. Finished. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is we need to draw the route, and we're just going to make this one up, but obviously if you've been following a particular route you can check your map plotter or anything and get a better idea of which way you went, but this is just an example. So what we're going to do, click in the middle of the start, and we're just going to come around here, and you can make this as detailed or as spacing as long as you want, but just for example, if you were zoomed in more on a map, you can go a little bit more detail wise, and into there. Click out of that. Now as you can see, we've got this big mess here. That's quite easy to get rid of. You've got the Bezier tool highlighted here. We're on Inspector, Style, and it'll come up on this automatically anyway when you click it. And all I'm going to do is click on this square box here, which says, or I'm unticking it actually, Fill. And as you can see, all we've got now is just the line of our route. Now that won't look very good at the moment, so I'm going to come down here, brush colour, and again I like my route in red. Now if you're happy at that, that's fine, and what will happen is when we animate it, you'll get a red line just like that come out. I think this looks a little bit better in my personal preference, so we come down here to brush type, onto airbrush, and then it brings this box up, and then you can change the width of it, make it really thin or a little bit thicker. I just tend to, this is how I do it, I'm not saying this is a correct way, but this is how I prefer to do it. I increase the width, increase the spacing, and then we start to get the dots. Once we've got the dots, we can then take the width down until you get something what you like. I think that looks okay. So again, we click out of it. Now we've not got any movement at the moment, but that's fine. But we've got the start point, we've got the finish point, and we've got the track we've taken. What we need to do now is add our little boat for the animation. So before we do that, click down here on the plus box, and that creates a new group. And then what we're going to do is go back to our file, import it, and I'm going to import the sailboat PNG. We bring that in and it puts it into group 2. Now it's a bit big and it's going the wrong way, so all we're going to do, click on the shift button, grab it in the corner, flip it across, release, and then click on the corner again and just scale it to the size what you want, to something what looks about right. I think that'll do, and there we go. That's the boat done, the route, start and finish points. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to click on the sailboat, we come up to library, behaviours, basic motion, and then we come down here to motion path, and we're just going to click and drag that and place it over the boat, and that's good. It's not going to do a lot just yet. The next thing we need to do is click on the box, highlight the motion path which we've just highlighted, and we come into Inspector, and it brings this box up where it says path shape. You're going to click on there and click geometry, and then it opens another box up here. If you come back onto this window and just click on your Bezier and click and drag it and drop it in that box there, as you can see it's put your route into there. What it's done is linked that to your sailboat, and it's actually put your sailboat at the start position. Now if we press start, play, or the space bar, as you can see now we've got the 10-second timeline here, and the boat takes 10 seconds to get to where it's going. This is on a loop, let's just turn the loop off. So there you go, and when it gets there it will stop. What we need to do now is just a few little tweaks, so we'll just take the cursor back to the beginning. So what I like to do is the circle copy here, we bring it up to about here. Let's just play it again, and what you'll see, take that out of there, is that when the boat gets to here now, the circle comes on, or the finish point. So we still need to tweak that a little bit. So this is the way we do it. Click on Bezier, we go to library, behaviours, come down here to shape, down to right on, and then we're going to click and drag that to the Bezier window. So it's now attached right on to Bezier. Now what will happen is when we press play, alright, just bring the cursor back, is we now get the root coming behind the boat. But the destination circle is still coming on too early. So the way we can do this, we grab the motion path. To make it easier, I'm just going to drag that up to the circle where the circle starts, and then we get the motion path, drag it back to there. We get the right on path and we drag that back to there. Now what happens when we press play, as you can see, circle copy won't come on now until we get there, and then it holds the screen. So that just gives you a bit of flexibility for when you come in to edit it. Okay, so if we want to put some text on there, the first thing we need to do is make sure we come right back to the beginning. And we click on the T button, and we're going to write in start. You can put in whatever you want here. Come over to this side to format. We've got it highlighted here. I can make the size a little bit bigger. Okay, that's good enough. And if you want to change the colour, we can put it in red or whatever colour we want to do. So we'll call it, we'll leave it in red for now. So we press play and we got the start. Now if we want finish to come up here, we wait till we get there. So just here where the circle comes on and the boat finishes, let's just tweak that up a little bit so it's just slightly out of sync. If we click on T again and type finish, again we can put that into red, go to format, make it that a little bit bigger. Now what will happen when we come to the beginning, let's just click out of it, press space to play, shortcut, and now finish comes up when we get there and it will hold. Okay, so that's the video done. So we need to get that now into a video format into our editing suite, which in my case I'm going to be using Final Cut Pro. So basically we go to share, export movie, let it come down. It's going to save it as a QuickTime movie. I've got it set into an H.264, but you've got the Apple ProRes, or you can do same as source, but 264 is what I like to use. There's no audio on it, so we can just keep it on video only, and all we're going to do is click next, save it as, so we'll call this Animated Master Failure, and I'm going to save it to that folder. So all the project stuff is in the same folder, and that's just going to take a few seconds to export. And when it does, boom, opens QuickTime for me. So this is our 1080p video, which we will now import, or which we would then import into Final Cut, and then you can edit the speed of it if you want it faster or slower in Final Cut. So there we have it. Hope you've enjoyed that, and we'll see what we can do next time.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell so you'll never miss an episode. Please check out our Patreon page, the link's below, where you can get access to over 40 Patron only videos. See you next time.